Is it Vera? V-E? Via. Okay.
My name is Matt Farmer, F-A-R-M-E-R. I have a kindergarten daughter here at Edison. When I learned about the decision that Mr. Duncan and his colleagues made to relocate my daughter, Tess Crow, Griffin Koziol, and the gang to another school, I asked myself a couple of questions. One, who was in that back room on Clark Street advocating on behalf of my kid and the rest of the kids here at Edison? Because, Mr. Vasquez, you're an attorney. You know that when someone is battling over something involving a kid, whether it's a custody case or a guardianship case, a court will appoint an advocate to represent that kid's interest. Now, I had that question, and it crawled around for a while, so I called the Office of Academic Enhancement. And I will give Dr. Jay Lee, the head of that office, credit, because he was the only CPS official who's returned any of my phone calls in the last couple weeks. Dr. Lee and I had a very nice, polite discussion yesterday. I asked Dr. Lee, was someone from your office in that back room, advocating on behalf of the gifted kids because you oversee this gifted program? He said, no, nobody was. I said, well, if you wanted to find out whether there was somebody in that room advocating on behalf of these kids, who would you ask? He said, I don't know. Which leads me to this point. We heard from Alderman Doherty, we heard from Alderman Lorino. I live in Rogers Park, so I'm not one of Alderman Doherty's constituents. On top of that, I'm a Democrat. So he's not looking out for my kid. Alderman Lorino welcomes us to Albany Park. Come join us. But what happens when those political winds start to blow in a few years? Mr. Dispenza comes up with a new set of charts. Presumably, he had those similar charts 5 years ago when he explained why opening schools in Albany Park that are now 30% and 40% occupied were a good idea. But what happens when we have those political winds blowing again, when the new charts come out? What kind of treatment are we going to get from Alderman Lorino? Because I still don't live in her ward. Are we going to get the same don't let the door hit you in the rear end on the way out treatment that we're getting from Alderman Doherty?